So we're going to get to the 2014-2015 passing leaders, and we're going to start with the top 49. So Connor Shaw threw 148 yards. Byron Leftwich, the other backup for the Buffalo Bills, 176. John Skelton, 194 yards, and Mike Glennon, 211 passing yards. They are the 46 through 49. Then the former Chicago Bears starter and Indianapolis Colts starter Brady Quinn threw 221 passes. He's declined a little bit this in his career. He's had a better career in this franchise than he did in real life because he did make a Super Bowl with the Indianapolis Colts, and they unfortunately lost that game, but he's number 45. Number 44 is Jimmy Garoppolo. He's the draft pick by the Atlanta Falcons to be the successor to Peyton Manning. He played the last season game and lost, but he had 319 passing yards in this season. And despite all of the Chicago Bears' turmoil and quarterback challenges, Jay Cutler only threw for 392 yards as sort of a backup option for both Jason Campbell and then later Carson Palmer. Then the first-round draft choice for the Philadelphia Eagles threw for 498 yards, 7 passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a good 53% completion percentage. He is backing up Donovan McNabb, and he could have been the starter this coming year, but McNabb is coming around, and he's going to play again at 38 years old after making the Super Bowl, but unfortunately losing the Super Bowl. But Teddy Bridgewater is looking to be the heir to the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback room. Then there's Kellen Clemens. Clemens in real life was with the Jets. He was wore number 11, but Alex Smith wears number 11. Clemens did play a few games in the absence of Alex Smith's injury, so he is 1-2 this season with 653 passing yards and a 5-3 touchdown to interception ratio, but a nice 64% completion. A surprise here was Joe Webb, who won 3 straight games, the last 3 games of the Baltimore Ravens season, as Colin Kaepernick declined and had a really rough outing. Webb threw for 730 passing yards. He was under 50% completion. He threw 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Then there's Eli Manning. He had a pretty solid career with the Kansas City Chiefs. Then he went to Seattle. Then he bounced to Baltimore. And then he went to the Green Bay Packers. And he went 0-4 to start this season. And the Packers ended up being 9-8. So he had 736 passing yards. He threw more interceptions than passing touchdowns. Really rough go for it for Eli Manning. It does not mean he's out of the league. He still has a good chance of landing a team in this offseason, but he was released during the season because I figured he was costing so much money that the Packers in real life would have likely cut him not to pay him if they were moving forward with Brock Osweiler. And then Jason Campbell was in at number 38. He was 1-4 this season through 822 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and he was traded to the Oakland Raiders when the Chicago Bears traded for Carson Palmer to then replace him because they were 1-4, and basically I think the Lions were like 2-3. So the Bears are trying to make a move for the playoffs because the best team was only 1 game ahead of them or 2 games ahead of them, and unfortunately it failed miserably, which we'll see later. Then when Blaine Gabbert went down with an injury, Landry Jones came in, and he's number 37. He was 1-2 in the season. He had 916 passing yards, 13 TDs, 7 interceptions, and a nice 69.9% completion. Unlike Landry Jones was Bruce Grodkowski, who played in 4 games and lost all 4, threw for 1,060 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and had 2 rushing touchdowns. Let's just say Bruce Grodkowski had some opportunities in his past to start. He starts here again and just could not do anything with the San Francisco 49ers team. And now, Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football, gets his start this season mid-year and went 0-6. Had an injury that took him out for the rest of the year. He threw for 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, less than 50% completion. I'm still deciding whether I really give him a chance to start next year or if the Commanders decide to go elsewhere at quarterback. Marty Morningway is on the hot seat and likely going to be fired, and so we might see a change at coach, and it might likely lead to a change at quarterback. But Manziel comes in at 35 in his rookie year, and we'll see if he's able to bounce back from it. Then we have a first-round pick from last year, Geno Smith, who sat behind Byron Leftwich last year and then had some moments where he was backing up Michael Vick. They started off pretty rough. He was able to get a win later in the season to kind of save his season. He has 1,400 yards passing, 11 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Then just ahead of him was Michael Vick, who took the starting job from him, was like 2-0 or something like that. He won several of the games he started in, which was Pat Shurmur's way of trying to keep his job. He threw for 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, but also rushed for 9 rushing touchdowns and 600 yards. So Vick definitely had a stronger season and better play than Geno Smith, but it ultimately did not lead to anything productive for the franchise. On the other hand, coming at number 32 is Derek Anderson. Anderson made the Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. He was a reliable starter. He went to the Seattle Seahawks, beat out Tavares Jackson for the starting job there. He was a pretty solid... Vince Young. He beat out Vince Young for the starting job there. And then he went to the Arizona Cardinals as a backup. And when Andy Dalton went down with an injury, Andy Dalton ended up being 6-6 this year, which you'll see later. But Anderson went 5-0. He won every game. He had 1,800 passing yards, a 19-6 interception touchdown ratio, 68% completion, and he could very well land a starting job this year as a 32-year-old quarterback, especially because the quarterbacks in this league have taken a step back in quality. So he could be fighting for a starting job this offseason. And I mentioned Chicago had a rough year. Their quarterback was 31. He has 4-8 record. Carson Palmer, 2,040 yards, 19 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. A lot worse than Derek Anderson. 1 rushing touchdown there for Carson Palmer. Then the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders was Trent Edwards. He started out rough season, and then Manziel came in, and then once he got injured, Edwards came back. He was 3-8 this season, so the 3-14 record of the Commanders were all won by Trent Edwards. He had over 2,000 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 55% completion percentage for the veteran. Then the 2-time Super Bowl MVP Drew Brees went 2-11. He was injured this year. Rough outing for him. He has 2,200 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. He ranks 29 in this season. Then last year's Super Bowl champion, Andy Dalton, goes 6-6, threw for 2,600 yards, 25 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, and ranks number 28 on our list. Then there's Colin Kaepernick. He's had a really rough go. He had the starting job early in his career, then he was benched for Eli Manning, and I think there was someone else that was in the, maybe it was Joe Webb. Then he threw for 2,800 yards this season, 21 passing touchdowns, 13 interceptions. He's still like 27 years old, but he ranks number 27 out of our 49 passing leaders. Then missing a few games due to injury, Blaine Gabbert threw for nearly 3,000 yards, 32 passing touchdowns, 64% completion, and 13 interceptions. Bucks narrowly missed the playoffs this season, going 8-9. Then there was E.J. Manuel. He was a second-round pick for the Buffalo Bills. Went 5-12 in his first full season as a starter. Not very good. He had more interceptions than touchdowns, throwing 25 interceptions and 22 passing touchdowns, throwing for 2,961 yards, ranking him number 25. Then you had Kirk Cousins. He sat his rookie year behind Brady Quinn. Then Brady Quinn and Kirk Cousins were fighting for the starting job last season, playing a mix of games. And now in his first season as a quarterback, Kirk Cousins goes 4-13. Really, really rough record. Threw for 3,100 yards, 27 passing touchdowns, and 20 turnovers, 20 interceptions with 2 rushing TDs. Ranks him at number 24 in this season's passing leaders. Coming in at number 23 is Brock Osweiler. He went 9-4 after the Eli Manning 0-4 start, threw for 3,200 yards, 33 passing touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. A lot better than his Cincinnati season where he struggled to win games, and that led them to having the number 1 overall pick where they drafted Jadeveon Clowney, and then Derek Carr trading Brock Osweiler away, And I guess Brock Osweiler made them pay for it. I mean, Green Bay might have found their 6'8" behemoth quarterback moving forward in their search for a real starting quarterback ever since Brett Favre left. Ever since Matthew Stafford left, excuse me. Stafford was a pretty reliable quarterback, so they're kind of rebuilding after him and his departure to the Seattle Seahawks. Then there's Sam Bradford coming in at number 22. He had 12-5 record, 3,200 passing yards, 27 TDs, and 14 interceptions. Bradford is more of a game manager, but it doesn't really matter because he's winning games and taking his team to the postseason. So number 22 is Sam Bradford. Then Ryan Tannehill, who took his team to the playoffs in 2 straight seasons, threw for 3,300 yards, 31 TDs, and 12 interceptions. Really good for him as a third-year quarterback. So doing all the things he needs to do. Very impressed with Tannehill taking that leap into the playoffs again. Then the Cleveland Browns had Terrell Pryor, who's the former Rookie of the Year, go a 9-8 record. He wasn't injured this year, which is great. Last year he struggled with injuries. He threw for 3,300 yards, 27 passing touchdowns, 14 interceptions, but double-digit 10 rushing touchdowns and 991 rush yards. Let's just say his speed paired with his size is just so formidable that I didn't expect to give Cleveland a franchise quarterback. I just drafted him because of the Ohio State connection and thought it'd be funny. And apparently he's now like an 87 overall because of that Rookie of the Year boost to his overall. And just it blows my mind. But basically over 4,200 total yards for Terrell Pryor this season. Then we have the former league MVP Alex Smith, ranking number 19. He went 10-4 this season. The entire team went 11-6. He had some injuries there, but 3,400 passing yards, 26 TDs, and 15 interceptions. Also ran 7 touchdowns in. Jets made the playoffs and made a run almost to the Super Bowl, but failed to defeat the Dolphins in the AFC Championship game. Matt Barkley ranks number 18th, and he went 8-9 in his first full season as a quarterback. He sat behind Carson Palmer last season and then was given the reins and had a very mediocre, modest season. You could say it was even problematic where he threw 24 interceptions and 26 touchdowns. So just threw 2 touchdowns more. I guess he doesn't have as bad of a campaign as E.J. Manuel, but it's still not great in the sense of the turnover challenges, but 3,400 yards gets him the 18th spot. At number 17, we see Colt McCoy. He went 10-7 as a Jaguar starting quarterback. He had a pretty good season last year, going 8-9. And then he threw for 3,500 yards, 29 TDs, and 18 interceptions. Good play there by Colt McCoy. Then we've got the first quarterback taken in the 2014 NFL Draft, Blake Bortles, going 7-10, throwing for 3,539 passing yards, 31 TDs, and 19 interceptions. Good debut for the probably the best quarterback in this class. We will see if that is true. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe Derek Carr might be the best one. We will find out. But number 16 is Blake Bortles. We see the journeyman quarterback Tavares Jackson landing in Tennessee. He's been sort of a reliable starter for them, getting them like not bad seasons, but not great seasons, just mediocrity throughout. He's signed a decent contract, so he's there for a while. But he threw 3,700 yards, 42 passing touchdowns, which is pretty impressive, and then 19 interceptions. We'll see if that 7-10 record keeps him the starter or if they try to look for something new. The Dallas Cowboys had Russell Wilson all season going 11-6, 3,700 passing yards, 40 TDs, and 19 interceptions with 6 rushing touchdowns and 603 yards on the ground. Ranks him at the 14th league leader in passing yards. Unfortunately, he got injured in the wild card round, and despite that, Fitzpatrick was able to take the team all the way to the NFC Championship game, but falling short to the Philadelphia Eagles. And here we go. Number 13 is Donovan McNabb, 37-year-old, going 12-5 to the Super Bowl, unfortunately falling short. He threw for 3,841 passing yards, a 66 completion percentage, 34 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Not bad when you're pushing 40. Andrew Luck finally has a terrific season, going 14-3, number 1 seed in the NFC. He's number 12 on our league leader here with 3,848 yards passing, 32 passing touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and a very good 68.8 completion percentage. Also got a few yards there on the ground with 336 and 6 rushing touchdowns. Another quarterback who just reeks of mediocrity, but not poorly. He is Mark Sanchez with 7-10 record, 3,964 yards. He's number 11, but he did throw 32 touchdown passes and a league high 30 interceptions. So that's a lot for a quarterback, and Sanchez takes the lead on interceptions. And then we got Joe Flacco going 9-8. He threw for 3,998 yards, just too shy of 4,000, 34 touchdowns, and then 14 interceptions, so 20 more touchdowns than interceptions. A little under 60% completion with 58% and that 1 rushing touchdown. And now cracking into the top 10, we've got Matt Ryan going 8-9. He made the Super Bowl last year with the Raiders. Threw for 4,066 passing yards, 47 passing touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Just absolutely fantastic display there. I mean, that's a lot of touchdowns. Then at number 8, right behind him, is Aaron Rodgers with the Chargers going 9-8, 4,100 yards, 41 passing touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. And when I said Blake Bortles could be the best quarterback in the class, well, what I meant to say was Derek Carr could very well be the best quarterback in this class. Taking number 33 overall, he is the 7th in passing yards this season with 4,141, 10 of 7 record, 35 TDs, and 20 interceptions. Great display by the rookie, taking his team to the playoffs. That was quite a surprise, and pretty good for a rookie on a team that had the number 1 overall pick and taking them to the playoffs. Matthew Stafford gets out of Green Bay and is able to make the playoffs with an 11-6 record in a very tough division. He's number 6 on our list with 4,217 passing yards, 34 TDs, and 14 interceptions. He had a 63% completion rate as well, and some very young rising star receiving weapons. Looking forward to seeing how this team evolves with Stafford at the helm. Then you got the old man, Peyton Manning, going 11-5. They rested him the last game of the season. He is number 5 on our list, breaking the top 5 here with 4,262 passing yards, 43 passing touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. They were the 3rd seed, I believe, in the playoffs, and they got beat by Dallas in the first round, which was very disappointing. But Manning is coming for another attempt at a Super Bowl championship for the Atlanta Falcons this season. Then we got last year's league MVP, Robert Griffin III. He was 7-10 this season, so he didn't really lead the league there for MVP voting. Threw 4,320 passing yards, 44 TDs, 21 interceptions. So a little bit higher interceptions than he wanted, but he is still a top 5, top 4 league passer. And despite failing to make the playoffs in back-to-back years, Tom Brady at an 8-9 record is number 3 on our list with 4,333 passing yards, 42 passing touchdowns, 20 interceptions, which wasn't helpful, but really it's hard to blame Tom Brady for the Patriots' decline. Right now you could argue that Bill Belichick could be on the hot seat if the Patriots don't perform next year. Number 2 on our list is Big Ben Roethlisberger. He did miss the playoffs this year, went 7-10. We figure that the Steelers would have been likely better than the Bengals and the Browns, who both made the playoffs. But he threw for 4,363 yards, 43 passing touchdowns, and then 17 interceptions. So he ranks number 2 on our list. The old man Roethlisberger making things happen, except just not the playoffs. And then we've got the number 1 league leader in passing yards, Cam Newton, who happens to be the league MVP and Super Bowl champion. He went 15-2, 4,777 passing yards, 44 passing touchdowns, 7 rushing touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He got it done on the ground as well with 392 rush yards and a 62.7% completion rate. So there you are, your top 47 passing leaders in the 2014-2015 season. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel. I hope you like the little AI graphics too. There's a lot of work that went into trying to make these players look like they actually play for the teams I have put them on. Because Madden, that you can only have so many character faces and cyber faces, and I haven't gotten really into the modding as much with Madden 25, so this is a great way of telling the story, at least in my opinion. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you in future videos as we have the off season coming up, which is going to be exciting.